Summer 2017, I was doing research for Mysterious Travelers, and so I'm in New York City, and I knew that Steve had an office in Times Square. We had exchanged several letters. I sold a lot of books for him. I was working at DCBS, so it's not as though like I was unaware of what was going on here or what the stakes were. And also at the time, Ditko was 89. I just knew that if I was going to meet this man, now was the time to do it. I have to do this. I saunter up to his building in Times Square and just kind of walked in. I didn't really check in with anybody. I just walked past the doorman, went to the elevator, went up to the seventh floor. And as soon as I got out of the elevator, there was his door, 715, SteveDitko. And I went and I knocked on the door. And I knew what I was doing was not great. It was not a great look, right? I was coming totally unannounced. But I knew that if I hadn't taken this opportunity now, I might never get it again. And as it turned out, I was basically right. So I knock on the door and nothing. Bupkis. No response. Nobody's coming. I can hear sort of a hammer and bell of an old telephone in the background, and it rings and rings and rings, and nobody's coming. And I just figure, okay, well, he's either not answering the door or he's not here. So I turn around and I face the elevator and go to push the button. And as I go to push the button, I hear this tunk, and it was the deadbolt on his door. He opened the door, and I don't know who he thought I was going to be or what he was expecting when he opened the door, but whatever it was, he was not happy about it. And he was so annoyed. He was so annoyed that he moved his whole body. He goes, "What do you want?" Like, just moved like every like fiber of him. And I said, "Hi, I'm Zach Cruzy. I know that I'm intruding on your time, but I also know if I didn't come here, I would be making a mistake. Your work put me on a path that brought me here. It changed my life." And he said to me very sincerely, he looked me right in the eyes and said, "Yeah, well, all lives change." I said, "Yes, they do. But your work specifically changed mine." And after we sort of came to that understanding, he kind of eased up a little bit. And we had a very pleasant conversation, 5, 7 minutes. And that conversation is secret. It's mine. But it was special. And he was really sweet and kind to me. And he gave me more time than I had any business receiving. And I thanked him for his time and thanked him for all the things he had done for me intellectually and artistically and creatively. He nodded and waved and closed the door. And then I went away and just sort of sat with it for a while. But it was special. It was kind. And I will never, ever forget it.